Guys, it is said that no matter how long a lie exists, it can never become the truth. Yes, I keep saying that when the chips are down, the truth will finally unveil itself. Now, I have never seen a situation where Oyibo men will come out and say they want to protest, not for themselves, but for Nigerians who they found out have been cheated for a long time. Yes, we all know about how our colonial masters continued to stay in Africa even after independence, using shell companies to continually loot the commonwealth of the people. And just few days ago, some white men in the United States of America has come out to protest that SPDC, who is obviously at the verge of running away from Nigeria, has continued to bring about poverty to Africans and Nigerians at large. Yes, they did that in collaboration with most of our kleptocratic leaders, and in this video you'll be seeing it for yourself. Recall how they were also exposed in Burkina Faso by Ibrahim Traoré, who came out and said enough is enough. Now, without wasting much time, I would like us to jump right into the video that has sparked reactions on the internet over the weekend so that you can see for yourself how the truth is finally coming out for everyone to see. Just like Donald Trump also exposed the allegations and shenanigans of the USAID in Africa sponsoring terrorism. Take a look at this video for yourself, but please ensure you do well to touch the like button. It doesn't cost anything. This is an exposition and a looting that has taken place for over 4 to 3 decades. And we want this video to be recommended so that the world can see it. Also, do well to intentionally drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about the allegations and the exposition that has sparked widespread reactions, and we shall continually be here to serve you.
Good morning to you viewers. Let's begin what's trending in the United Kingdom with this video of a man who's a member of a group advocating for cleaner energy protesting against oil giant Shell over allegations that the company is responsible for oil pollution in Nigeria. Shell was in court last week after lawyers representing 13,000 Nigerians claimed that the oil company and its subsidiary failed to take basic steps to stop the oil theft and other activities that cause oil pollution. But the lawyers also claim that hundreds of leaks and spills from Shell's pipelines and infrastructure have devastated the environment in Bili and Ogale communities in the Niger Delta. Let's take a look at this video of the group.
Justice for Nigeria! Justice for Nigeria!
We ask all delegates to vacate the main room. White stages and green stages, please can you pause your presentations?
How dare you? Shell has been polluting the Niger Delta for the last 70 years. You have been poisoning the land, you have been poisoning the water, and you have been poisoning the air. We demand justice for Nigeria.
13,000 people attending Shell's
I mean, that was a very hard protest. Hashtag Justice for Nigeria was trending, and that was Felix Faber from Shell, who this group, I believe they're called the Clean Energy Group or something like that, interrupted that actual meeting. But we have seen that this Shell oil pollution has been a conversation that has been going around. We know that Shell is arguing that the vast majority of the pollution comes from criminals sabotaging pipelines, stealing oils, and illegally refining it. The company says it is not liable for pollution caused by others, but that its regional arm, SPDC, cleans up all spills, regardless of the cause, including those scrutinized in court. The initial hearing of that High Court full trial will be next year, and it will focus on liability for spills from criminal activities on Shell Oil's assets in Nigeria. Well, let me take some tweets that follow the stories. This is from Nwolu, who wrote, "These are mothers of Ogale community crying for justice as they are tired of planting and not harvesting, tired of buying water to drink, tired of buying fish when it could have been caught, tired of the spillage that Shell Nigeria had made us experience. Hashtag clean up and pay up." Well, let's take a look at that video really quickly before we come back for a discussion. All right, Professor Kila, a brief comment on this conversation.
Well, I think
justice for Nigeria.
Justice for Nigeria. Damage to environment is
Yes.
a very high-level idea. You know, the fact that if we destroy the environment, we destroy ourselves. It's a very great idea. It's a very noble one. And I want people to look at this. People are saying, look at it, a non-Nigerian fighting for Nigeria. Yes, great ideas have no boundaries. For little ideas, you talk of ethnic, you talk of nationalism,
Absolutely.
you talk of religion, but the big ideas, they have no boundaries. I think that's a lesson to learn from that.
Absolutely, and the court case, like I said, will go on full on next year, and I hope that there's some sort of justification for this. I know that the group in Ogale have been advocating for cleaning up that area. I mean, I saw a picture of one of the chiefs, the head of that community, going to that first trial. Well, we'll take another story now. Over the weekend, USAID came under heavy scrutiny for alleged terror funding after U.S. Representative Scott Perry, during a congressional hearing, highlighted allegation that the agency during the administration of Presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden inadvertently funded terrorist groups like Boko Haram, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda through its aid programs.
Who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds to madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. USAID spent $840 million in the last 20 years on Pakistan's education-related program. It includes $136 million to build 120 schools, of which there is zero evidence that any of them were built. Why would there be any evidence? The Inspector General can't get in to see them. But you know what? We doubled down and spent $20 million from USAID to create educational television programs for children unable to attend the physical school. Yeah, they can't attend it because it doesn't exist. You paid for it. Somebody else got the money. You are paying for terrorism. This has got to end. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
So it's a big topic over the weekend. I know you guys discussed it with Professor Bolaji Akinjemi a little bit, but I'd love to highlight everything that's been going on with this story, because the allegations, as you know, highlights the misuse of aid that could support terrorism, sparking a debate on the oversight and impact of U.S. foreign aid. Well, let's take this tweet from David Hundeyin, who actually blew the whistle in the first place. David Hundeyin wrote to Elon Musk. He wrote, "Hi Elon Musk, here are some cut and dried cases of US aid in Nigeria, corruption and money laundering you may want to look into. On a vendor in Nigeria called Dai Global LLC. I looked into the payment history and saw that between August 2020 and January 2025, at least $48 million of US taxpayers' money supposedly invested in Nigeria went to Dai Global LLC, registered in Bethesda, Maryland. So I looked into Dai Global's activities in Nigeria, and it turns out to be a run-of-the-mill climate NGO, which organizes meetings and seminars and stages photos with politicians and little else. Yet nearly all of its payments from USAID in Nigeria are labeled all other professional, scientific, and technical services. I mean, since Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th, at least $799,000 of US taxpayers' money has been paid by USAID to recipients in Nigeria, marked undisclosed or miscellaneous. At least $446,000 of these undisclosed recipients in Nigeria were sent across 8 payments between January 29th and January 30th. Meanwhile, you will remember that US President ordered USAID to halt all payments on January 28th. USAID Nigeria disobeyed a direct instruction from the US President and spent the next 24 hours after the instruction frivolously shelling out $500,000 of US taxpayers' money to recipients in Nigeria marked undisclosed. I'll leave the implication of this to you. Well,